Welcome to Slow is Good, a podcast for entrepreneurs who want to think outside of the box to grow slow and have a greater impact. In this podcast, we'll talk everything business, but most importantly, we'll talk slow business, digital strategies, creativity, some Franglish, and a load of human touch. I'm Geraldine Jipe. I'm a slowpreneur, ex startup founder. I'll be your host. I'll share ideas, strategies, and more with joy and slowliness. Enjoy the listen. Hello there. Before to jump into the next episode, I wanted to remind you that there are a few days left before the start of the Slowpreneur Summit French edition. So if you do speak a little bit of French, please join from June 12th to June 16th. Emily and I will be more than excited and happy to have you on board, also with our guests and speakers. And we'll be discussing leadership, slow business, slow marketing, and also the invisible. So there are a lot of topics that will be very helpful and very interesting for you to discuss with us. So come and join, and you can register at sommet-slowpreneur.com. All right then. Hello and welcome to another episode of Slow is Good. I am beyond excited to be here. We just wrapped up the live segment of the Slowpreneur Summit with Emily, and it's been a ride. Trust me, it's been quite something and such a beautiful experience with all the feedback and love and shares that we got from the community and also our guest speakers. It was beyond what we could imagine, literally. So it's not the point exactly of the conversation of the day. Today I wanted to talk about, how to bring that transformational impact inside your business. And it starts with something that is very simple, because for most of us out there, especially slowpreneurs, then we are accustomed to do things in a certain way. But what about starting with the right questions, right? If you are in questioning how you can make more impact, but you really want to grow, but still you want to remain true to yourself and be slow, you have to start with asking the right questions. It's all start and begins with that. And sometimes looking at yourself, looking at your business, looking at the way you've been doing things is not always very pleasing. It might be even painful. I've been through that. Many people in my network becoming slowpreneurs have been through that. But this is like a necessary evil, if I may say, because you need it. You need it in order to transform yourself from the inside out. And I really want to help you out here. So, question your practices. Are they fair? Are they ethical? Are they, impactful in a sense that you support your community and not necessarily just offering things just for the sake of offering? And the reason why I'm bringing this topic on the table is simply because I decided to commit on social, specifically on TikTok and on YouTube, to debunk, if we can call it debunking, like talking about the practices that we have online, more specifically. Offline, it might be a little bit, but we have practices like selling practices, business design practices that are maybe questionable. I'm not saying here that it's good or bad. I'm just saying that maybe we need to question things in order to see what we can improve, what we can tweak, what we can do differently in order to impact better society. And for me as a solopreneur, it requires that. It's a deep, deep introspection on how I do things, how I support my team, how I support my collaborators. Because since 2021, I've decided to commit to working on more and more collaborations for any kind of project that I have in mind. And it requires like to introspect, like a deep introspection in questioning how I do things, how I want to do them, and how I want them to serve, but also questioning if the things that I've been doing for the last couple of years are still useful or impactful for me and for my community. And it's not always easy. For instance, I know I've been delaying for the longest time to migrate my server my website from my server to like a more green friendly. It's been 3 years on the back burner simply because I haven't found the time to do it. In order to like operate on a different mode, it requires like to revisit all the systems that we've been a part of. And me specifically, I've been a part like very aggressive and performant like systems when it comes to online business design. And now that I want to take more like a clear view and a deep, I want to really dive into like how I've been creating my funnels, like deciding on my pricing and all that things, because they've been encouraged, if I may say, by what the industry is doing and how it has been brought to me. Now, I do believe that is not because everybody is doing a certain things that you also have to proceed. What is working for someone might not be working or be aligned with you. Like it might not be aligned with your values, with your mission, with what is the core of the reason why you decided to build this big business of yours. And the fundamentals that I wanted to question is like how we design, for example, website. Why do we have like big heavy images, like or certain fonts and certain colors? What does it mean? How it does impact, and also how we've been creating like landing pages, and because they're meant to offer a communication point to the community for them to understand exactly what it is that you have to offer, what are their terms and conditions that you have to that you want to share with your community for them to understand exactly what will be their part of the relationship that you will be connecting with them. And I realized that I've been taught a certain way to create landing pages in a very, I shall say, aggressive kind of way, and is no longer aligned with who I am. It has never been, to be honest. And I want to question that. Like, is it really necessary, for example, to have all these like hyper performing SEO? And I've been that in my youngest years, I was like an expert and a specialist in the field, offering services in SEO world. And now I just want to take a step back and, with that time that I want to take and think like, is all this SEO practices that I've been using online are fair for humans? More specifically, I think for boats they're fairly fine and quite performant actually, but are they fair for a human? Because behind the boat you also have a human that will be taking the time to understand the information that you will be displaying online. And for me, this summer will be a deep dive with a summer series on how we've been dealing with like online business design and questioning everything from the pricing, from the branding, why we do have a certain way of doing branding, the fonts that we really want to use, what are they saying exactly, what is the correlation with our brain interactions, human interactions, but also from a historical standpoint, like what does it mean, like the evolution that we have in terms of advertising and communications and also selling, because there are standards that have grown over time. But I realize with time that these way of selling are not necessarily ideal for someone like me, someone that is an introvert, someone that is more into developing or deepening connections and relationship with others. And why we see a way too many trends saying that you have to close a deal. And I know it's important for a business like to close a deal. I hate that word, but the reality is for me, working with someone, working with a partner, working with a client is not a deal, is a relationship that will grow with time, a partnership even. It's a valuable connections, like a soul connection to me. So now I'm just questioning that, why are we talking about closing a deal? Is not a person that we're closing is the development, the growth of a relationship, a fun relationship with somebody that will be experimenting something that you have to offer. So it's much more like a relationship kind of experience. And this is all the things that I really want to take the time to revisit simply because they're not aligned with who I am, who I have become, and who I want to be as a coach, as a serial entrepreneur, as a mother, as a sister, as a person that is a part of that world that I want to impact for the greater good and in a better way. So I don't know if this um if this is like interesting for you, but what I want to say here, if you want to bring that change inside your business, you need to start with the right questions. And for me, bringing the change, bring the questions that I've been doing things like in a very automatic like way. Now I want to take a step back and questions the why behind all the steps that I have taken over the last couple of years. I mean, I've started like freelancing in the web industry in 2008, right? So things have moved so far. And the question is like, am I still okay with these practices? Are they still aligned with the mission of Geraldine Dupé Inc. and all the projects that are attached to my company? And for that, I will have to do an exercise that is really hard. Look at myself in the mirror, accept that I've done things because I mimic a few things that are a part of the industry, a part of what is accepted in the web industry. But maybe that needs to be, it's not even a maybe. They need, and I need to revisit them because they no longer fit my framework of being an entrepreneur that integrates the notion of consciousness, impact, and the slowness as well for more serenity in all the things that I want to create. And I really want to invite you in that journey. Question yourself as well. Like, like, is your business still aligned? Are all the practices that you've been using are still okay with you, with the person you have become, or the future self that will be, impacting others, clients, and other communities with your business? Is it still fair? Is it ethical? Is it good enough? Is the quality up to your standards and new standards? Or is your team, the right team for you? Are you fair to your team? Are you, are you transparent as well? Because like sometimes many entrepreneurs really want to just get the growth on the income, but are all income good incomes? And I know it's hard, it's really hard questions simply because we all know that the current economy is not easy on everyone. And it's fair to say that some of us out there have maybe challenges to go through, selling and getting the dollars that are necessary to operate their businesses. But then the complementary questions to that is like, are all income good income for now and for the future? And to be honest and transparent on that, I had to revise a few partnership with some client of mine simply because the alignment was no longer there. And I mean, for me, being a slowpreneur is also that, is just like making sure that I get like a closer look at who I want to work with and how I want to generate that incomes that will serve me, but not only serve me, will serve me, my company, my team, my partners for other projects, but also that will impact all the causes that I support because I really, really feel strong on the idea that I want to make more impact. And for me, yes, transforming with my business, but also supporting causes that are very important to me. I'm a part of the WEC, the Women Economic Council. You might have heard me here and there talking about it. And these are causes that are very important to me. There's also the Société des Harpistes de Montréal, the Harpists, the Montreal Harpist Society, where I support the community in order to access more way to enjoy the instrument and strengthen the community as well, and have more diverse representation as well in the classical music practice. So, all that to say that revisiting and questioning everything is key so that you can make more impact. And if you are game to come in that journey, tag along and tag me your questions if you have any on socials or wherever you might hear this episode, and or even email me at hello@geraldinegp.com. I will be pleased to pursue that conversation that is very dear to my heart and very important. All right, then that's what I wanted to share, and stay tuned. There are more things coming your way. And a quick reminder that if you haven't accessed the replays for the Slowpreneur Summit, they're available until next week, June 30th. So make sure that you get into that so that you can access to the replays until December, the end of December. So, and also if you do speak a little bit of French, though. All right, then. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you for listening to the last episode of Slow is Good. Thanks for showing some love. Please share it with your community and your loved ones. Don't hesitate to follow us on social media, on Instagram at Slow is Good. Please share your reviews, feedback, and add some listed stars on iTunes and Spotify. This is very useful for us and to support us and for us to keep on going. I'll see you next time.